How about that Unity Band? You guys are amazing this morning. Welcome, everyone. It's good to see all your faces here today. As you know, Jack and Norma and Syntysche and Mike are out of town this week celebrating her ordination graduation ceremony, which happens tomorrow. And I have a link to the live stream of it if anyone's interested in watching it. I'll be sending it out probably pretty early tomorrow morning, like around 8. And so we can all kind of be part of it. And with that in mind, I need you to stop by the table in the lobby and do something for me on your way out, if you haven't already. And Yuma, our head usher, will show you where that is as you leave. You need to show them what's on that table out there that they need to do. It's a surprise. All right. So the Groverlands will be back next week. Services will be at 9 and 11 as usual. And let's see. Our first major announcement, if you have your handouts, this is all in there with all the details. We are scheduling a all-church barbecue in Lyons at Bone Park on July 11th. That's a Saturday. And starting probably next week, we'll have sign-up sheets if you want to help out or participate or sign up to bring something. We'll have all that laid out ahead of time to make it really easy for everyone. And we may even have a Friday before kind of a load-up party where we load everything up, so all we have to do is head there on Saturday morning. We are, I don't know, we haven't discussed that yet. I think you can't bring amplification, but you can bring guitars. And you can bring field games like volleyball nets and that kind of thing. And there's a skate park for the kids. And I think it's by a creek as well, so we can cool off. We do have a guest speaker this morning, Cathy Comstock. She is a longtime member of Unity of Boulder, and she's going to bring us some wonderful new peace practices on meditation this morning. And she is also offering a 4-week meditation practicing peace class series beginning this Thursday from 6:30 to 8 p.m. and it'll gather for 4 weeks on Thursday evenings. And if you could pre-register if you're interested in it, or at least let me know you're going to register the night of, then I can make sure we have enough materials for the class on Thursday night. The last quick announcement I have is that we all know Rebecca Abraxas is moving out of the country, and we wish her Godspeed in her travels. But we do have someone to replace that event every month. It's a sound circle. Caressa Ayers will be taking her place the third Friday of the month, the same night. It will be from 7 to 8 p.m. instead of earlier at 6:30. So be sure to check that out. It starts this month in June. She's a wonderful sound healer as well. I think that's all. I think we'll have Elaine out now, and she's going to read to us a devotion from the Daily Word.
Good morning. Sunday, May 31st, 2026. Our daily word is world peace. My loving thoughts, words, and actions contribute to world peace. Divine love is my very essence. I draw from this inner source to lay a foundation of love in my heart, and on this foundation, I build a house of peace, compassion, and acceptance. I invite others into this house through my kind words and actions. I live in an awareness that all people are divine. All deserve respect and a channel to express their true selves. I view the people of the world as my neighbors. We may look, talk, or believe differently, but it is this diversity that fills the world with beauty. I radiate divine love to all and gratefully receive the love that returns to me. This exchange is the basis of lasting peace. Together, one word, one smile, one act of compassion at a time, we build a peaceful world. If it is possible, so far as it depends on you, live peacefully with with all, Romans 12:18.
All right, at this time we want to participate in our call to prayer. Every Sunday we reach out into the universe and think of all the people that may need our hearts and thoughts, holding a space for them and a healing, or just helping with them with their spiritual growth and support. And in your pews, there's little clipboards with prayer request forms on them. If you think of their names and they've been on your mind lately, put them in our prayer box. Lisa will circulate as we sing our prayer song. And the entertainment club can come up and join us to sing the song this week. And if you can't think of anybody, put your own name in there. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living If everybody wants to stand up, we're going to sing our joy song now. One of our favorites by special request, Waymaker. let that sit for a minute. All right, I want you to look to the person next to you and say, thank you, God, for you. And pat yourselves on the back, get to know each other a little bit. And we're going to have our special musical guest out in just a moment. Today we are pleased to welcome Colorado-based singer-songwriter Karen Horan to our Unity stage. Karen takes listeners on a journey to touch another time, other lands, and inner landscapes. Lyrics flow with smarts and are punctuated with touching and edgy honesty. Her emotionally riveting songs blend raw honesty with poetic grace. Please give a warm Unity welcome to Karen Horan.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for inviting me here. Yeah. Thank God for you. I didn't get to do that from behind there. So it's my pleasure to share a couple songs with you. For this first one, it's just one of those that invites you into that inner source, and from there connecting with yourself, connecting with each other, connecting with all that is from the deep waters. Perhaps I've known you for a moment or years, perhaps lifetimes of laughter and tears. Tender heart, let's walk where the towers crumble down. One twist, one turn, join me. The confluence astounds. Deep waters, we meet, we unfold. Deep waters run clean in my soul. Through the forest stands a solitary pine. Can you see the tree and forest? You see your eyes in mine. Oh, you shine the mystic's mirror and tell me that's where joy lives. My love, may I surrender and drown in the heart of wholeness. Deep waters, we meet, we unfold. Deep waters run clean in my soul. My soul. I'm a woman of quiet power from an ancient noble tribe. My sisters, the earth and ocean, My brother shines in the sky. Deep waters, we meet, we unfold. Deep waters run clean in my soul, in my soul. Deep waters in my soul, my soul, my soul, my soul. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. What a lovely song. All right, it's time for Cathy Comstock to come out and give us her message today. I'll give you a little introduction so you know a little bit more about her in case you've never heard her speak before. Professor Comstock has been teaching about Gandhian nonviolence, meditation, literature, and critical theory at the University of Colorado for a long and rewarding time. She's an active and loyal member of Unity Boulder and engaged in the Boulder community as an activist for animal and human rights through nonviolence. Please welcome Cathy Comstock.
Thank you. I feel so lucky to have this group of people here. See, I know just about all of you, and you are the best of the best. And I'm so appreciative at your willingness to come out. In fact, there's only one thing I've been sort of worrying about and praying about all day, which means I'll have requests for you, which is, according to the way I understand it, God, when the rapture comes, will take all the best people with him. And of course, who wouldn't want to? But if he does that right now, I will have no audience left. So please, it's okay to leave for the restroom, not for the rapture, please. I'd also like to recognize the people who are listening to this online, and thank you. There are people listening on either coast, and this opens a possibility that Unity can have world conquest, and we really need that kind of a conquest in the world. So it's a great thing. However, at the same time, I'd really like to urge you, if you're nearby, if you possibly can, to come here to the church. And here's the reasons why. There was a time period when I would just watch when I was at home. I figured I'd get all these things done. I'd grab some nuggets of spiritual wisdom for the week. It felt very effective. But what I didn't realize is the power of community and how much you get out of being here and having that with people. In fact, anytime you have time, we have groups that meet after the service. These are such touching and inspiring conversations. There's a wonderful Swedish proverb that says, a shared joy is doubled, and a shared sorrow is cut in half. But it's even better than that, because when you tell a sad story here, and you get people's sympathy and their advice, it turns into a happy story. You leave like energized, like you can do things in the world. You know, the human psyche really needs community, and it needs a chance to tell our stories. So I'd really urge you to come and not miss out on this fantastic opportunity, the best kind of community that you could spend your time with. Thank you. It didn't cost me very much to get this on, but I want you to know you'll all be paid afterwards. No, thank you. It's so nice to have responsive people when you're up here. I actually asked them to put the lights higher because I love to be able to see you. And ordinarily, if you come out here, it's like you'll confess anything, but you can't actually see people. And I definitely wanted to be able to do that. Again, this sort of an audience makes a huge difference. So, talking about our stories, I have 2 stories I wanted to tell you today because I feel the people who come to Unity with such a desire for the good, it's only going to take you a little bit more to get over the top to your very best life. And these are 2 things that completely changed my life, and thus it seems, of course, that I would want to share it. We'll also be talking about these in the class that I'll be teaching at much greater length. The first one was when I reached a certain point in life, it felt as though I had everything I'd wanted. I had a meaningful career, I had a house. Nobody hated me the way they did in high school. I mean, it was a really good life. And yeah, I thought by then I'd have bliss. And I didn't at all. I was still grouchy and irritable half the time. It seemed as though it should be something more than that. And so about that time, Jack Groverland, our long-term minister here, was teaching a class on meditation with a wonderful book, which is the book that we'll be using in this class. This book is renowned for being the best meditation book, and it totally changed my life because the author is clearly an enlightened person, and he's fun, and he's fascinating, and as I read it, I thought, this guy has bliss. This is what I've been wanting. So I started doing everything that he said, which included really helpful lifestyle changes, but also meant that I was meditating every day. And everything seemed nice and peaceful. People mentioned I seemed to be getting a little easier to be around. And then one day I sat down and something so remarkable happened. I didn't know these things could happen. That's why I always want to share it. The way you meditate with this particular person, and we'll discuss different types of meditation in the when we have the class, the way that meditation works is that you say the words of a beautiful passage, like the prayer of St. Francis, and so you can focus on them. It's a really nice way to still the mind, especially if you're highly verbal, the way that I am. So I was starting to say a word, and suddenly that word started floating down through my consciousness, my very body. And it gave this feeling like a pearl dropping through cream. It was just so luxurious. Every moment was astonishing. And then finally, it actually hit bottom, and it was depth waves of pleasure. I don't know of anything else like this. I mean, there are great things in life like pizza, puppies, romance. This is actually better than all of them. It's such an intense experience, and you don't have that worry that someone's going to take it away from you, or that you'll have a hangover the next morning. None of that. And I found, as I finished, I thought, well, what will I do now? I thought, I'll say another word. That was amazing, too. Once I got done with that meditation session, everything started to change. I felt like a battery that had been filled with an undefeatable happiness. And even if I ran into challenges in life, and they'd drain it a little bit, I could go back and meditate, and it would all be filled again. And what I found after years and years of doing this, is now I can just sit down and in a second have that wonderful feeling. Some people would call this a peak experience. Whatever you call it, nothing was the same. Now, one thing that wasn't quite the way I thought is, I sort of hoped I'd be a Buddha of peacefulness. I'm really not. And I thought maybe I'd be perfect and I wouldn't have any faults. No, I've got lots of them, all the vices, gluttony, sloth, lust. And I didn't really want to give those up, I found. But what I also found is that everything started working out really well. I think it's even, when you're doing things you really shouldn't quite do, it turns out fine. And I think it's because it changes something so deeply in your consciousness that it affects everything in really positive ways. Excuse me, there's so many different things that I want to say about this. At any rate, after having years of having that and feeling that deep, deep joy and satisfaction, I found something else happening as well, which was that it seemed to be seeping into my consciousness on all kinds of levels and really affecting my relationships with other people. And here's where I'm going to talk about something that, especially to me, relates to people in unity. The people in unity I've seen are so kind and good. And the only thing I've found that is a common challenge or problem is that you tend to be really hard on yourself. So, unlike most of the world out doing terrible things, you come and wrestle and sometimes are so hard on yourself. Gandhi, you maybe got to know, was the same way, so you're in really good company. But there are ways around this that are not easy to know at first. Our culture tells us things such as, well, you can say affirmations, I'm good, I'm strong, I'm enough. I've never found that really works for me. I don't even like it when people tell you to love yourself. I'm like, how do I do that? Do I send myself love notes? How does that happen? And I think it's because there's an essential problem when we're focusing on ourselves. That energy can tend to turn inward and downward. Some people think, in fact, depression is just normal energies that coil up and go down inside and can't get out. But when you start having the feelings that I did, that problem disappears. And this is amazing, because I struggled with that problem of being too hard on myself for so long. But to explain what happened, I really have to go to my source of divine wisdom, which is animals. You've probably noticed that God spelled backwards is dog. That's my theological grounding for turning to animals for my wisdom. And as the years went by, I noticed that where I'd always had a deep love for animals, as I bet a lot of you here do, just this unconditional love that probably makes dog owners wonder if I'm safe, because I have to stop and commune with every dog. Well, you know how easy that is to feel loving and be all the things you want to be when it's with an animal or with a baby? That's because you're not focusing on yourself anymore, and you're not worried they're going to disapprove of you. It's your very best part that comes out when you can think in terms of how much you're concerned about that other being. And this is the thing that I especially also want to talk about. It's called compassionate empathy. Ordinary empathy can almost be problematic, because you may end up just reflecting somebody's mood, and then you've got two of you who are feeling bad. Compassionate empathy tries to look very carefully at what's going on with people And then to stand back and say, what could I do or say that would help them, that would be a support with whatever is happening with them? This, as I say, is so natural with animals. Well, I found over time, I started looking at humans the way I look at dogs, which is, you couldn't be better by any chance. This means that life is such a delight for me wherever I go. Everyone is so fascinating. And even if it's a little bit hidden, I feel the same way I do when I'm petting an animal. I just want them to feel better about life. As we follow this sort of path, we find that all sorts of things in our life get better. Here's another problem I've heard from people. People worry about being people pleasers. You know, that is a great thing to be. You want to be a people pleaser. What people worry about, of course, is that because they want approval, they might be sabotaging their ability to do the right thing. But when you're just looking at people to see how you can approve of them and how you can make their life better, which is the way I feel about any animal that I ever see, then you don't have to worry at all about a desire for approval getting in your way. In fact, you'll find people are coming to you. They sense this deep strength in you. They sense that you are the person who can let them know about the hero who is inside of them. And as that awareness grows, people are just so happy to have your support that it doesn't even occur to them to be difficult or insulting. Even that inner mean girl starts being quiet, or mean boy, when you are practicing in that kind of way. And another thing that happens as you follow this kind of a path of always focusing your energy outward toward your protective, wonderful self, rather than inward thinking, oh, wait, I didn't do things well. Just don't even worry about that. It disappears once you have that different direction. And one of the things that happens, and I'm sure people here have experienced this, and it can happen even more, is all these little miracles that start showing up in your life, which are tied also to something that spiritual teachers have told us about for a long time. How important it is to pay close attention to everything around you. When you pay that close attention, it forms a channel for your love and caring to flow along. One of so many great stories about this had to do with a speech therapist who, as you can guess, as part of her job, was used to paying very close attention and helping people. Well, she had stopped by a humane society just to drop off some donations, and she noticed there was a sweet little orange cat who was huddled all the way back in the cage and not making a sound. Well, it turned out that that cat had never spoken in all the time she had been at the Humane Society, and she'd been passed over by person after person to the point that she was just withdrawing into herself. Well, this woman instantly knew that this is a creature she wanted to help, so she adopted her. They had a wonderful bond, which alone is fulfilling, but here's where the really amazing part comes in. Because the cat wasn't communicating in normal ways, and because she was a speech therapist, she arranged these little buttons that had her voice recorded on them. And if you press one button, it says food, another one says play. And it took a long time, but because the cat loved her so much, the cat learned to press certain buttons, especially when it's something great like food. And the cat had mastered about 7 of those buttons. Well, one night, at like 3 in the morning, the therapist heard weird sounds coming from the kitchen. She hated to get up, as we do, but finally she got up and headed down there and found that there was a button the cat had never pressed before that button had the word help encoded in it. The cat had pressed it 21 times. And then she realized that there was an electric fire starting in the next room that was almost something terribly dangerous for everyone. And yet her cat somehow had known to press that 21 times. I don't think there's any way you can explain it. And yet it's so often when you try to do those generous acts that you find things coming into your life you couldn't imagine. I wanted to give you another example just because it was a favorite of mine. Again, I think when you're giving out your energy and caring to the world sort of senses it. And this seemed to happen one day when, it was about a year and a half ago, I was at the farmer's market in the fall, and everybody knows how wonderful the farmer's market is, so many good things. And I was lined up with other people to buy some vegan ice cream, very good vegan ice cream. The only vegan ice cream worth eating, frankly. At any rate, so I was lined up there, but I noticed there was this movement taking place underneath the wagon, and as I looked more closely, I realized it was a tiny baby squirrel, and people had been trying to feed it, had been trying to get in touch with it for hours, I heard, but the squirrel wouldn't come close to them. And I wasn't certain what to do, but then suddenly I realized the squirrel had come and was standing on my feet. And then when I had to move, he went and climbed all over my bike and my cart. These are really clear signs, but you probably have the same doubts about these things that I do, that we know you don't want to take baby fawns where their mother might have stashed them, because the mother will be coming back. And I didn't really know about squirrels. I didn't want to do the wrong thing, so I went home. Well, here's another thing that starts happening the more in touch you are with everything. You get these little voices. We think of still, small, sweet voices. This was a big, nagging, loud voice, and it woke me up the next morning saying, "You stupid so-and-so, you left that baby squirrel there. What's wrong with you?" And I was like, ah. So all that little voice also reminded me that I knew a wildlife rehabilitator. So I was able to call her and ask her advice. And this is something I want all of you to know too, in case you're in this situation. It turns out if you see a really tiny baby squirrel wandering around, looking lost, it probably is in a very bad situation. It wouldn't be out there by itself unless its mother had been killed. I'm sure that's what had happened with this baby. And in fact, I think it's only because he was so brave that he's the only one who survived from the nest. Well, once I heard this, I raced back. But, is that whole big bandshell area. I thought, how will I find him? And so finally, I couldn't find him. I sat my little camp chair down next to a big tree near the ice cream truck, and I was just texting somebody about what was going on with him when I look over and here, feet away from me, is this little squirrel on the side of the tree like, well, it's about time. And even so, it was quite a journey to get him to the rehabilitator, but I did within half an hour or so. And it's just what one might fear. He was terribly dehydrated. He was on the edge of starvation. But then once she was able to give him food and give him everything he needed, he turned into the most darling creature. I'm going to see if I can get the picture up here. That's a nice title. We were sort of afraid that this wouldn't. Cathy, it's the little squirrel picture. Oh, there. Thank you, Cathy. I had a feeling you were going to be my savior today. Isn't he just the most adorable thing? I called him Neo after the Neapolitan ice cream I was buying. And also after Neo, that brave hero of the Matrix, because I think this squirrel deserves all of that kind of credit. Over time, we find that these sorts of experiences not only come to us, they just make us so happy so much of the time. Something I was going to say earlier when I was talking about how important it is to have community also calls for an animal story to tell you. Again, with a sensitive woman and even sensitive cows, as it turns out. This woman ran sort of a farm and a ranch, and she had a blind steer. And this was so sad because the horses totally ignored him, and he was so lonely. And cows are very affectionate creatures. So when someone asked her if she would take a baby dairy steer who had been raised from birth, was getting too big for that woman to handle, she agreed. Well, she brings the little steer out, and those mean horses are chasing after this steer. She's standing there thinking, oh, what can I do? When suddenly, from several pastures away, that blind steer is going, is coming all the way to the front pasture. And then this little cow goes, moo! And the two of them become lifelong friends, as you might guess. She then says something that I really love, because it says so much about what is important in life. She said, what if you'd lived your whole life and no one spoke your language? Do you ever feel that way? You know, when I listen to the news, some days I go, maybe I got the wrong species. Maybe a dolphin. But as she goes on to say, just imagine how they felt at last that there was another creature speaking cow. That's what it feels like to me to come to Unity, is you meet people who understand the way so much of the world doesn't seem to understand that real happiness and joy will come only from our mutual caring, our understanding that the whole meaning in life lies in that compassion for others and for other creatures. And to give you a sense of the sort of life energy that starts to get aroused when we do things like this, I'd like to do a meditation, which also will help you see the way that meditation helps to bring out these energies. So let's see, Josh, do you have that music there? Oh, great, thank you. These are complicated productions, believe me. Are we hearing it yet? It could be a little louder. Thank you. Perfect. So please close your eyes. Let your eyelids settle down lightly. Feel peace starting to flow over you like a golden veil, touching your hair, flowing over your head, touching your mouth, flowing over your chest and legs. And now feel an energy from the earth coming up to meet that. With each toe relaxing, starting on your outer toes, your middle toes, your inner toes. Let that relaxation and peace flow up into your ankles, into your calves. Feel it releasing your knees. Feel it releasing your thighs. Feel a golden pool of beautiful feeling and presence right at the base of your spine. And this golden pool is now spreading outward, spreading into your torso, into all your bones, flowing up to your neck. Feel your neck and your shoulders relaxing inch by inch as this beautiful, warm energy flows through them. Now flowing through your upper arms, your forearms, into your very hands, which you may feel tingling as this energy awakens them. Feel that energy now going into your chest, everything relaxing, you're breathing easy and enjoyable, up into your jaw, just letting go, almost as though it's melting. Feel it touching your cheeks, touching your eyes, relaxing your eyes all the way to the back of the head. Nothing but velvety darkness. Now flowing into your scalp, everything relaxing, everything releasing, every bone, every piece of skin, all letting go. And feel a golden energy that starts to well up through your whole body, even to the top of your head, now coming out and flowing around your whole body, holding you in a kind of cocoon of deep, sweet peace. And now I'm going to ask you to do something. You don't need to open your eyes, but please let that energy flow into your hands and hold your hands in front of you with palms facing each other, just a few inches apart. Feel that space between your hands. Now take your hands out slowly, again feeling that space. Now start to bring them inward, being very sensitive to what is happening between your hands. Take them back out one more time and then slowly inward, really noting what is happening between your hands, until finally a little globe of light starts to develop, getting stronger and stronger. Feel that globe of light and its presence reverberating through your hands, radiating through your body. And now let all of that energy flow into your heart and just rest peacefully for a few seconds. Now coming back to time and space, reality. Josh, you can turn that music off now. Thank you. Would anyone like to volunteer what it felt like between their hands as they were bringing them together there? I know you're a brave soul, Tom. What did it feel like to you?
A warm glowing.
A what?
A warm glowing.
Yeah, warm glowing. That would make perfect sense.
Energy.
Yes, the sense of energy.
Feel or hold.
Right. It's like, I didn't know it was loaded. What's going on here? Anybody else have any way they'd like to describe it? Tim, I know how perceptive you are. This is why I wanted the lights on, so I could really pick on people. What did it feel like to you?
I guess I just felt like a very positive energy.
That you sensed there was an energy there.
Flow out of maybe stressors.
Yeah, which is the exact point of what you want it for. Anybody else want to describe what that space felt like? Did it remind you of anything? Please. Exactly. Or another way we might describe it is when magnets have positive poles in both magnets, and you try to push them together, you can't do it. And you're like, wait, Why won't you do it? It seems clearly that this is a type of electromagnetic energy, basically, that we have just waiting to be mobilized here. We know from endless studies on meditation that it helps people sleep better. They live oftentimes at least 25% more in the studies that they have done there. They get over depression. My students were glad to know it gave better grades. In fact, in the inner city, they did this wonderful experiment where they would have them meditate twice a day. I mean, these little kids were coming to school with people shooting at them in helicopters overhead, but they'd bring them in and they'd meditate for 10 minutes twice a day. Their grades shot up, their dropout rate shot down. Everything started to change because we have these incredible potentials here that I so much want you to realize, and to realize how easy it is. I think people pull back from meditation. They think, oh, it's hard. I have to sit there and be quiet for a really long time. It's not like that at all. Just plan to take a couple of minutes every day. And actually, as you do this, you find yourself wanting to do it more. And you know, one of our major challenges with meditation, and I've been teaching it and thinking about it for a very long time, is that we need to calm down the nervous system. If I hear people do guided meditation and I haven't relaxed yet, my mind's just all over the place. So you need to calm the nervous system. That was part of why we did the relaxation in this one. And a good way to sort of jumpstart a meditation is sit and feel that energy between your hands. Again, you're like getting the energy to go outward instead of inward to doubt and all sorts of things like that. And if you do that for just a few minutes, everything starts coming into alignment. Again, when people mention warmth, you start getting warmer. It's just all sorts of things start to mobilize. And then, and this is a wonderful thing to do, which we'll practice in my class, but there wasn't the time to do it today. There's special meditations for it. But what you can do on your own, after you've done that, to start your meditation, spend a couple of minutes thinking about someone or some creature you dearly love and that you above all want to protect. When we move to our protective energies, the very best part of ourselves comes out. You don't have to worry about, are you being a forgiving enough person? Or did you do that wrong? All that fades away. Everything that is so good and affectionate and loving about you just starts flowing out. So if you'll begin by calming yourself, focusing your energy, and then bringing out your wonderful heart energies, you can do this for just 3 minutes a day, and you'll start to find everything changing. It's remarkable the effect that can have on you. So I hope people will give it a try, along with the whole idea of taking your energy outward to other people. We have this wonderful role we can play in life. We can look at people and we can see the hero in them and let them know about that hero. And when you give people that new narrative, their life can take on whole new dimensions, basically. And it's so easy to do. We don't have trouble reading Superman comic books. How much better to read people and to see all their superpowers and to let them know. Now, one of the things we'll do in the class is to look at nonviolent communication, because sometimes it's not easy to figure out how you communicate things, but with that makes everything really easy when you have that. For now, I just so appreciative that you are here, that you are people who are right on the edge of living this, what they call peak experiences, everything blooming and getting better all the time. And all it takes is this little shift in energy, a shift outward to supporting other people in sometimes very subtle ways. And then when you combine that with the meditation, you'll find you get this inner support that starts to make all the difference, basically, and you will have what you deserve, a life of incredible and increasing joy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Cathy Comstock. To give back to the presence and the power and the source of our universe. We're so grateful for our ushers walking up to us now. For those online, there's a link down below, unityofboulder.com, with a Give Now that you can use. For everyone that's in the room right now, you can use the QR code in your program to tithe, or you can
And we're happy to welcome Karen Horan back to the stage for her second song. She will meet you out in the lobby to find out more about when she's playing locally, and if she has any recordings available, they'll be available to you after the service. Take it away, Karen.
Hello again. That was a beautiful meditation. I was back there, my hands getting warmer and warmer. So if my guitar buzzes, you know why. And I love that idea of a joy shared is doubled. And I think a joy shared with 50 other people times that joy by 50. This is a song about presence, about life and the seasons of life, and connecting once again. Who has seen the wind? Neither I nor you, as the leaves hang trembling, the wind is passing through. Who has seen the wind? Neither I nor you, as the trees bow down their heads, the wind is passing through. Golden winds of autumn clear the way and renew seen the wind in blowing silvery hair, in wisdom lines around my eyes, carved from truth and care. I am the wind. Close your eyes to see. When you hear the echo of my voice, the wind is alive with me. Golden winds of autumn clear the way and renew. Walk with me through the mystery. We're all passing through. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. That was beautiful. All right. I just want to let everyone know that Cathy will be leading a discussion group in the conference room bookstore about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from now. If you want to talk to her about her meditation techniques, she'll be in there. Our store is open. We have coffee, tea, and refreshments in Fellowship Hall. And stick around and be sure to put your autograph on the table out in the lobby before you leave. All right, shall we do I release? Is that good? Let's do I release first. If you want to stand for our closing benediction. And then once again, the Groverlands will be back next week. And thank you everyone online for tuning in today. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more trouble, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Thanks for being here. We'll see you all next week.